everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Shehbaz here. In this video, we are going to perform repeated measures ANOVA in SPSS. So we have data set of 30 patients with group control group and treatment group and with 3 dependent variables: pre-testing score, after 2 week score and after 4 week score. So in this way, we will test the repeated measures ANOVA in SPSS. So we will go to Analyze, then click on General Linear Model and click on Repeated Measures ANOVA. So we need to specify the factor. So it means we have 3 dependent variables and 1 is independent variable group. So in this case, we can consider pre-test 2 week and 4 week as time. We can also consider as day. So we can put it time. So number of levels, because there are 3 independent variable, so we are considering that these 3 are 3 levels. So we will put 3 and then click on add. Now we will click on define. Okay, so we will arrange them accordingly as we put the data. Like there is 1, 2 and 3 as we defined. So we will put 1 as pre-test and then 2 as week 2 and then week 4 as 3. And between subjects factors, so we will put group into between subject factors. Now we'll go to plots and click on group as horizontal axis and time to separate lines and then click on add. This is interaction effect and then click on continue. Post hoc test. Okay, so post hoc, we will define the post hoc test for group and we decide REGWQ post hoc test, because we can only apply this test in case of 2 category, because we have 2 category like control and treatment, so we used it. Other tests need the 3 or more than 3 groups, so we have only 2 groups, so we applied REGWQ group. So if we have 3 more than 3 groups, then we will apply TAK and other then can test. So we have 2 groups, so we can simply apply REGWQ post hoc test and then click on continue. Okay, now click on options. We need mean for overall mean, group mean, time mean and interaction mean. And then we will click on compare mean effects. We are using Bonferroni method, and we also need descriptive statistics, estimates of effect size and homogeneity test. So we will click on continue. So we have set all parameters. So now we are going to perform repeated measures of ANOVA. Okay, now we'll click on OK. So we get the results here. Okay, so we can see that there are 3 time group. Like you can see 1 equal to pre-test, 2 equal to week 2 and 3 equal to week 4. Between subject factors, group 1 equal to control group and group 2 equal to treatment. So we come to next, descriptive statistics, and we can see that there is a mean of control in pre-test group was 65.4, and on the other hand you can see the mean for treatment was 66.60, which is higher than control group in pre-test. Okay, so you can also see in week 2 control treatment mean and week 4 control and treatment. You can find that there is a high mean for treatment in week 4 than week 2 and pre-test. So simply we can say that at pre-test both groups had similar mean scores, almost similar. However, treatment group score increased substantially at week 2 and then week 4, whereas control group showed only slight improvement. This suggests that the treatment was associated with greater performance improvement over time from 2 week to 4 week. Okay, so next we see the box test of equality of variance covariance matrix. Box test was not significant because the significant level is 0.979, which is higher than 0.05. So it indicates that the covariance matrix were equal across the two groups. Therefore, the assumption of equality of covariance matrix was satisfied. Okay, now we come to the multivariate test. So you can see time according to Wills lambda and other suggested scholars, we can simply see the methods and we can found that time has a significant impact on treatment. So you can found there is a significant level 0.00 which is lower than 0.05. So it means the impact is significant. So you can also assess the PLS test, as you can indicate that participant score changed significantly across the three measurement occasions. Furthermore, the interaction time versus group, this is product movement and interactional impact between time and group was also significant, you can see. If we use PLS, Wilks lambda and any other suggested method. So it means the pattern of change over time differed significantly between the control and treatment group, because control and treatment group was our independent variable. So in both cases there was significant number of difference between the control and treatment groups. Okay, now we come to the Mauchly test of sphericity. Mauchly's test of sphericity was not significant. As you can see, the value of P is higher than 0.05. So it indicates that the assumption of sphericity was met. Therefore, the sphericity assumed results were used for interpreting the repeated measures ANOVA. So this is good for our further analysis. And now we move to next test of within subject effects. So the repeated measures ANOVA show a significant main effect of time. You can see time. So the impact is significant because the value is p value is lower than 0.05. So the impact of time is significant. So it simply indicates that there is a significant differences in scores across the three time points: pre-test and week 2 and week 4. Additionally, you can see the interaction impact also significant because the p value is less than 0.05. So which indicates that the change over time varied significantly between the control and treatment groups. And you can see time explained 0.881. So it means time explained 88.1% of variance. And time group interactional impact explained 81.6% of variance. That significantly define the difference between the control and treatment groups. Okay, now we come to the test of within subject contrast. So we can see here time is also significant and time with group interaction effect is also significant. So we can see the linear trend was significant for time indicating a consistent increase in score across the three measurements, like pre-test, week 2 and week 4. However, the quadratic trend was not significant. As you can see, the value of P is greater than 0.05. So what does it mean? It means the improvement followed a linear rather than a curved pattern. Likewise, the linear interaction between time and group was significant, while the quadratic interaction was not significant. So now we come to the Levene test of equality of error variance. Levene test is also not significant, and you can see the p-value for pre-test week 2 and week 4 are not significant because all values are higher than 0.05. So it means the assumption of homogeneity of variance was satisfied at all measurement occasions. So it means we can do the further analysis because our assumption of homogeneity met. Okay, now we come to next test of between subject effects. So you can see there was a significant main effect of group. You can see the significant level is less than 0.05. So it indicates that the treatment group had significantly higher overall mean scores than the control group across all measurement occasions. So now we move to estimated marginal mean. So this is basically overall grand mean. And now we move to group estimates. So you can see the treatment group had a higher overall estimated marginal mean than the control group. So it confirms that participants receiving the treatment performed significantly better overall. Now we come to other univariate test, pairwise comparison. So you can see the estimated marginal means increased progressively from pre-test to week 2 and then week 2 to week 4, indicating continuous improvement over time. So this is also a significant because the p-value is lower than 0.05. Okay, now we go for next univariate test. This is also significant over time because the value of p is less than 0.05. Okay, now we come to next time. So you can see also there is a high marginal mean of time in week 4 because it was 72.833 rather than retest and week 2. Pairwise comparison, you can see the pre-test comparison with week 2 and week 4. This is also significant. And then week 2 with pre-test and week 4 also significant. And week 4 with pre-test and week 2 also significant because the value of p is lower than 0.05 in all cases. Now you can also see multivariate test for time. Applied trace test value is 0.913 and Wilks lambda value is also 0.087 and both the significant level is lower than 0.05. So there is a significant difference over time. Okay, so now we see the group time, interactional group, control versus treatment. So there is high mean in treatment in week 4 rather than control in week 4. Okay, now we interpret the profile plots. So profile plot shows that the estimated marginal means for the control and treatment groups across the three measurement occasions, pre-test, week 2 and week 4. So you can see at the pre-test time 1. This is time 1 mean pre-test. Both the control and treatment groups had very similar mean scores. This one is 1 and this one. You can see almost same mean score. So it means the two groups were comparable before the intervention to week 4. At week 2, you can see green line. The treatment group showed a noticeable increase in mean score. You can see from control to treatment. Whereas the control group remained almost unchanged, approximately 65.7. You can find above table. This just that the treatment began to have a positive effect after the intervention. So here they place intervention and the treatment goes to high level. Okay, by week 4, which is time 3, we got it. The treatment group mean score increased further to approximately 78.7. You can find above, and this point is 78.7. So this is very high jump. While the control group mean score increased only slightly to approximately 66.9. This one. So it means the widening gap between the two groups demonstrate that treatment continued to improve participant performance over time. So the non-parallel lines in the profile plot indicate a significant time interaction with group, meaning that the pattern of change across time differed between the control and treatment groups. Specifically, participants and patients in the treatment group improved substantially like this one. Over 3 measurement occasions, 1, 2 and 3, you can see the improvement is significantly measured. Over the 3 measurement occasions, whereas participants in the control group exhibited only a minimum improvement, you can see. In control group, there is a minimum improvement, but in treatment group, there is a large and substantial improvement. So in this way, we can interpret the findings of ANOVA repeated measures. So if you find my video helpful, please subscribe to my channel and click on bell icon so you can get my next video.